Hey guys, this is At Home, a video series where you can ask me all your burning questions about Hunt Showdown and other topics, and I tell you what I think. Part informed opinion, part conjecture. This week, I'm trying to answer your questions very specifically based on your feedback from the last video, and thanks for all the questions. It was hard to pick this week, and just a warning, I'm probably gonna butcher some names this time. The gameplay in this video is me goofing off in solo versus trios, and let's get into it. The first question is from Historic. Do you think the Stalker Beetle failed as an anti-camping mechanic? Can Crytek fix it? Well, we know another Stalker Beetle is on the way because we've seen it in some of the recent Crytek trailers in the loadout screen, and we'll talk about that one in just a second. A long time ago, Crytek devs started talking about a piece of content that they pitched as a new element of team play and an anti-camping mechanic. Fast forward to update 110, and we found out the new anti-camping mechanic is the Stalker Beetle, a drone you fly and mark positions or detonate on enemy players, previously doing 5 damage, now doing 25 along with bleeding and poisoning. And while the Stalker Beetle does have some utility for information gathering, it did not prove itself to be the ultimate solution to camping. I think I've had exactly one experience where I felt the Stalker Beetle helped me push into a building. I mean, sure, you can flush a camper out, annoy them, even give your team time to push, but to use the Stalker Beetle, you either need to bring one or find one, and the consumable slots are super competitive, and I don't know anyone that brings a Stalker Beetle very often. The problem is, even if you know a guy is in a specific corner or on a specific floor, if he has a shotgun and you have a Springfield, he still has the advantage inside. Also, the Stalker Beetle is slow and loud, making it a very easy target. I shoot down way more than those that get a chance to detonate. Don't get me wrong, the Stalker Beetle is great for intel, but the very core of its design makes it fall short of the lofty goal to fix camping. So, can Crytek fix it as an anti-camping mechanic? I don't think so, but I think they can continue to improve it as a utility pick. I really wish the trees and walls where they spawn were better marked with a large white ring so you can find one from a distance. Just say the researcher marked them for study or something, and then you can find them a lot easier when they would be useful. And we don't know what this new Stalker Beetle is, but short of being able to kamikaze one-hit kill a camper, I don't think it can be fixed as an anti-camping mechanic. I mean, I don't want a one-hit kill drone either, so as a utility pick, the Stalker Beetle is excellent, and as an added bonus, you can find them on the map. But I mentioned earlier this week, the better solution to camping is giving players more loadout choices that work in a variety of ranges to be able to push buildings or fight at medium range, and I think Crytek has been doing a really great job of doing that. The Lamat carbine with its shotgun underbarrel, the Upper Mat, which is still an awful name, but an interesting weapon concept, and the drilling light gun in the Tide of Shadows trailer, steel ball ammo on the bomb lance. Having more weapons that work in close and medium range is key, and takes some of the authority away from long ammo rifles. In addition to those cool weapon designs, we also have the world spawn weapons, and now the hitching posts, which also give players more options in the moment. All of these additions aren't a final fix to the camping problem, but it does seem that Crytek is working on it in iteration. The next question is from Mahadia. Mahadia? Is it Spanish? I don't know. What about a 4-slot weapon? So you have to take Quartermaster if you want any kind of secondary weapon. I get this question so much that I feel like I've answered it in a video before, but I'm not sure. I've definitely answered it in my head a lot though. My problem with suggestions like this is that the weapon has to be either blatantly overpowered to be the only thing you want to use, borderline useless to the point of being a meme, and that's why you take it, or not actually a single weapon at all. I can't even think of a firearm that would be so hulkingly large that it needs 4 slots. Like, I don't know, maybe the punt gun, which were these oversized hunting weapons, and I think that would be setting accurate to Hunt Showdown. I mean, okay, trying to protect your buddy while he mans his stupid punt gun and he has to deploy it on the ground or in a window does sound kind of funny. And we already have the nitro, so people are used to getting one-tapped by these cheesy weapons anyway. And if you got killed across the pond by a punt gun, maybe you wouldn't be too mad about it. Did I really just convince myself this is a good idea? Thinking about the question specifically, would I want a 4-slot weapon? I think I'm still leaning toward no. I don't like the design philosophy of this thing is broken, so let's just make it unapproachable to balance it. like a trait that turns you invisible but it costs 12 trait points, or a gun that melts enemies but it costs $5,000, or a weapon so strong that you need 4 weapon slots. Plus, I'm not even sure what that would look like in the current menu UI. Like, how does it fit? Does it get cut in half? Is it 2 parts? I think I've convinced myself that a punt gun would be interesting, but maybe that would be better as a world spawn. We have all wanted to shoot the cannons found around the map, and maybe this would be the next best thing, but I don't see a 4-slot weapon being good for the game. The next question is from Mr. Destiny. How do you feel knowing you're going to have to redo a lot of weapon guides now that we're getting an ammo rework? Are you okay? Thanks for that question, because it really has been on my mind. If you are subscribed to this channel, you've probably seen one of my weapon guides, and if you aren't subscribed, maybe you should. But you might have noticed I haven't released a guide in a little bit, and that's because the way I do them is about to change somewhat. The shooting range is coming in update 113, and it offers damage numbers, which means I can get more specific, talk about more finite nuances, and test all the random questions I come up with while writing a guide. I can still bring that awkward humor, but I can also just, be more exact with the data, which sounds really great, except update 113 is also changing the way ammo resupplies work. I have links about that you can find in the description, but basically all of that changes the way that loadouts work, and there's just a lot to consider. The even more difficult part is that there's no way Crytek is going to get this right on the first try. I'm not doubting them as developers, but it's a huge change for around 100 weapons at this point, so this ammo update will change a lot. And then Crytek is almost certainly going to have to make balancing tweaks in the future, increasing or decreasing ammo pools as needed. There's just so many moving parts to account for. I really want to revisit the Centennial, but every time I think it's safe to, Crytek adds a new change, a new buff, a tweak, a variant, and all of that stops me from doing it. So I'm feeling a little discouraged about it because I don't really want those guides to be obsolete, but on the bright side, I will almost certainly have something to work on. I might just have to make one new "this is how ammo works" type of video and pin that in the top comment of all the guides, but then eventually that video will be obsolete, and I'm just really struggling here, so drop your ideas on how I can fix the obsolescence of videos. The next question comes from Fear Kling. Yep. With rain being implemented in the game, do you think that snow maps might be an option now? I've answered this question before when I was also discussing the possibility of the Lamat carbine being added to the game, and the fact that that weapon got added tells me that anything is possible. We know from the developer roadmap that we are getting a new map set in a new biome made of new assets, but that map doesn't come out until 2024. So maybe that map will be set somewhere where it snows more often. I suppose it's also possible that snow could be added as a wild card like the Inferno. People always say it doesn't snow in Louisiana, but it also doesn't have huge walls of fire roll through it very often either. I think the unique gameplay options with snow would probably be best as a tailored experience, so just having a snow section on the new map makes the most sense to me, rather than covering still water and snow. But Crytek wants to keep putting out hunt content for the foreseeable future, so like I said, it is definitely possible we will see it on other maps as well. Okay, time for my favorite section, rapid questions that don't need long answers. The first question comes from I don't know about that. Could you elaborate on your decision not to discuss unofficial/leaked content that has appeared recently? I'm answering this one because I keep getting it in comments and in DMs. The simple answer is that Crytek partners aren't allowed to discuss or speculate on leaks. We can talk about official news and content like what's in a trailer or on a social media post, but not leaked content. I do hope that Crytek finds a solution to data mining and leaks though, because in my personal opinion, data mining dulls the hype and creates expectations for players that Crytek didn't set. Speculating on future content is fun and generates cool new ideas, but showing future content before it's ready just ruins the big reveal. That's my personal opinion though. I'm sure other people really like the leaks. The next question comes from Lachlan C. Will you do another console video? Love the last one. Yeah, I plan to eventually. The problem is I'm really terrible on console controls for Hunt Showdown. I can hold my own on other titles, but Hunt Showdown specifically just isn't that great on Xbox right now. I'm sure I'll revisit it before there's an update though. Next question is from Zarek. Hey Home, how would you compare the difficulty of playing solo in duo lobbies versus solo and trio lobbies? I very much prefer the experience of fighting trios. and that doesn't matter my team size, solo, duo, or even a trio. I think trios are more readable, a bit noisier, and feel better to win against. Solo versus duos is still fun, just it's more teams to account for, and often more solos to account for. So yeah, I would definitely prefer trios, and I pretty much never play duos if I don't have to. The last question comes from Ben Churchill. Are there some long-term passion projects or ideas you're considering beyond the typical gun guides, spicy gameplays, etc.? Love the non-stop puns and humor. Thanks. Yes, there are. I've had 2 ideas that I think I would have to take a week off from the channel to do really well, and I'm not sure they would pay off, actually, if I took that time. I would also really love to talk about other games. I love Hunt Showdown, but I think about other titles almost just as much. And I think it's important to play multiple games so you can kind of see what's going on in the world around you. And ironically, the most popular video on my channel is not even Hunt Showdown related, it's a Hell Let Loose video. So I'm pretty sure HomeReel, the channel, doesn't have to be Hunt specific, but I just can't seem to find the time to not make it Hunt specific. So yeah, there are some passion projects I want to tackle, but I just gotta find the time, and I can't seem to between this channel and then working full time. And that's it for this week. Let me know your thoughts on what we discussed. Did the Stalker Beetle fail? Do you want a 4-slot weapon? How do I fix my obsolete videos? And until the next video, goodbye.